So then finally it is that time where I'm going to start doing my top 10 songs and my top 10 least songs from artists which you guys picked. So hello and yes, welcome back to another video guys, and this is a video I've been looking forward to doing for quite a while. It's been delayed a bit, but we're finally here. So you guys remember, hopefully, the video where I basically just said what we're going to do is I'm going to let you guys pick 5 artists, sorry. My bad. You're going to pick 5 artists, you get a vote each, and then the 5 artists who get the most votes, I'm going to do a video going over my top 10 songs by them and my top 10 least favourite songs by them. So anyway, I have come to a conclusion of the 5 artists which got the most votes. The artist that got the most votes will be the 5th one we do, and then, you know, we're working our way backwards. So Blondie is the 5th artist who got the most votes. So her video is going to be up first. And you guys must know that I've been collecting Blondie lately. It's really weird that it's happened, actually. Because I've recently just been diving into Blondie's catalogue, buying all of her records. Really been into her lately. And, you know, she's the one who got the 5th amount of votes, which means she's the one who I'm going to be making a video on first. So it was really cool that she got, you know, that place, because I'm really excited to do this video. I'm a big Blondie fan. You know, I've recently dived into their catalogue and heard all their albums. I've got even their new stuff on vinyl, which you can see down the bottom here. I've got the 2 albums which were never put out on vinyl, on CD as well, so I've heard them. So yeah, we're going to go over, well, if I can get the list, my top 10 Blondie songs first. So we're going to go from my 10th favourite all the way to my favourite. Then we're going to do my 10th least favourite song all the way to my least favourite song from Blondie. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. So when you're looking at Blondie's best songs, there's a lot of really cool ones that you can talk about. But the first song up is going to be this song. So yeah, that was the new song from Blondie's album. That was Fun. It's a pretty cool little title there. So yeah, come off her new studio album, which is right here, and it's a really good song. It's very enjoyable. It's got a lot of great beats in it. It's quite modern sounding, but as we'll see when we get into my top 10 least favourite songs from Blondie, when Blondie tries to go modern, it isn't always good. But this time it worked out really well for her, so good song. And yes, my 9th favourite song, sorry, I nearly said least. My 9th favourite song from Blondie is One Way or Another. It's a classic rock tune which everyone knows. It's a great jamming tune. It's a great song to cover. Many artists have covered it. It's just such a unique track, and it's just so catchy. It is one of those songs that, you know, you get all these catchy rock songs that have come out of the classic era of music, you know, We Will Rock You and Stairway to Heaven, stuff like that. And One Way or Another is Blondie's take on that. It's their classic song. And it's just such a fun song, you know, can't go wrong with it. Big fan. Opening up what is probably their most famous album, this one here, Parallel Lines, we have Hanging on the Telephone. And Hanging on the Telephone is a great tune. It's very catchy. It opens up this album so well. And that's one of the main reasons it's here, because there are a couple songs which are better on Parallel Lines. But I feel this song works so well because it opens that album brilliantly. It's a fantastic opening track, and it is just, again, it's really fun. It's got a great tone to it, and Debbie Harry's vocals on it are just brilliant. Has a kick-ass guitar in there as well, and it's just a really good song. So this song comes from their CD album No Exit, and it is the song Maria. And for those of you guys who don't follow me on Twitter, I have got a link to my Twitter account in the description. I've been doing recently a new little series where I post my favourite song of the week every Saturday. And Maria got it last week. So I can tell you guys I'm a massive fan of this song. I've been playing it like crazy lately. And it is just a really fun song. And as I say, this album is worth getting alone just for that track. It's a really good song. It's from 1999, so one of their later songs. But it's It's a very, very good song. And as I say, you know, it's just really catchy. It's pretty simple. It is a simple song. But it's so catchy, fun, and Debbie Harry's vocals are just so smooth. It's like a knife through butter. And it's just a really, really cool song. I like it a lot.
You read me my rights, and then you said, let's go and nothing more.
So here we have a classic song, of course, Ex-Offender. Yeah, I mean, it's such a cool song, there's no doubt. I mean, it is one, it's people who like Blondie, it normally opens up their greatest hits. You know, it opened up their first studio album. It is a fantastic song. There's not much I can say about this one because it is considered a classic. It is a classic. So yeah, that's great song. And as I say, if you know, it has to be on my top 10 list. I know it's an easy choice, but every time I put it on, I'm just so into it. It's a fun song, and I just love it. So
It's 11:59, and I want to stay alive. Pumping like...
So we're going back to Parallel Lines now for the song 11:59. 11:59 is a very interesting track. It's, I believe it opens up side 2. And it is, again, it's just such a cool song. The lyrics to it are really clever. It's just really catchy, really fun. Again, when you talk about Blondie, that's really what the band is, just catchy and fun. But this is one of their best, and I'm surprised this song didn't do better, to be honest, because it is just as every little bit a classic, rocking classic, as one way or another, really, to me. It's very fun, it's very energetic, and I really like this song all round. It's a really good song. And it's a shame it doesn't get more attention off that album. So if you have yet to pick up Parallel Lines, if you have yet to get into Blondie, pick up Parallel Lines because it is really their best album, probably. I mean, I'm a bit of a sucker for this album on the end, Panic of Girls. But really, you know, this is most people's favourite, Parallel Lines. But, you know, make sure you get to 11:59 because it's a great track. So yes, talking about my favourite album, Panic of Girls, it is from 2011, I believe. Probably my favourite Blondie album. What I heard is the second track on it, and it is incredible. It's so catchy. When Blondie tries to go modern, as I say, it either works, like this album, or this album, their new one. However, the album that come in the middle of them, this one, didn't work. As we'll see when we get to my top 10 bad songs. But it works so well on this album. It's a great album. If you like Paul McCartney's new, because I know a lot of people who visit my channel are Paul McCartney fans, and you're hearing Paul McCartney trying to go modern, yeah, check this out. This is what an old artist trying to sound modern and sounding brilliant sounds like. It's great. It's a fantastic album. But that song, what I heard, is the standout one for me. It's so catchy. It's just brilliant, really, for a band that has aged so well. It's a fantastic song, so I highly recommend it. And then once again we have another classic, kind of like Ex-Offender, Atomic. You can't go wrong with Atomic. I mean, come on, it's such a fun song. It's a classic. The whole build up to it is fantastic. I really love Debbie Harry's vocals on it. And she does quite a lot of different vocals on it, actually. It shows how talented she is, really. The lyrics are good, the guitar work again is great. And you can feel the band is just really into this song. You can just feel it, and that's how good this song is. That's how well it works. It's a very good song, and if you're doing a Blondie list, you can't not have Atomic on it. It has to be there. And then once again, we have another Blondie classic here, Heart of Glass. Again, you know, it's me being a sucker for the greatest hits. I'm not one of these guys who really just always goes for greatest hits. I'm not, you know, that's why I've put songs like What I've Heard, 11:59, Fun, Maria on this list. But really, when I do think of Blondie, these are the songs I think of, so I do have to put these classic songs on there. They're easy choices. Heart of Glass is fantastic, it's fun. To me, this is their number one classic song, even though it's number 2 on my list, because there is one song I personally prefer more. For me, it is their classic song. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It is perfection. And it is the most catchy song they've done, I think. It's one of the more memorable ones, probably the most memorable, other than One Way or Another. But yeah, it's a great song, and enough said. So yes, my personal favourite choice for my favourite Blondie song is Call Me. It seems like a bit of a strange choice, really, so I'd have to explain why. I remember being on holiday with my family and a performer coming on and performing it. And I just remember thinking, oh my god, what is this song? Who is it by? I need to know. And then when I found out it was by Blondie, at the time I had yet to get into Blondie, I was like, man, this is brilliant. So I went out. This song encouraged me to go buy Blondie's Greatest Hits. I went and bought Greatest Hits. I loved all the songs on the Greatest Hits. Especially that song. It was one of my favourites. And my granddad was a massive Blondie fan as well. And I remember playing the Greatest Hits with him a couple times. And it's a shame that my granddad never really saw me dive into Blondie like this, because I think he would have really enjoyed some of their newer albums as well, because they're great throwbacks. So Call Me has a lot of personal memories for me. It's the song that got me into Blondie, and even today I still put it on. I just love it. There's a redo version on the bonus disc that you get with their kind of shitty album, and they redo Call Me, and it's really good. Debbie Harry can still sing it brilliantly, and it's a really cool song, guys. So honestly, Call Me, if you haven't checked it out, you need to do it, because it's a really good song, and that is my personal pick for my favourite Blondie song. But now we're going to go into their bad songs, and this is where it gets even more interesting. I mean, I've been playing little clips there of the songs in between. I don't know if there's going to be clips of all these songs on YouTube, and there might be live ones, but if not, if I can't find the clip for the song, I'll apologise now, because I won't know till I start doing the editing of the video. But anyway, I'll try to get you all good clips for them. So anyway, here we go. Top 10 least favourite Blondie songs. And you'll notice there's a pattern. Most of the songs have come off about 3 albums here, because honestly, Blondie are brilliant. I don't think they have one bad album. Other than that, it's like you really have to dig deep into Blondie to find some dodgy stuff. But you'll notice it all has come from a couple albums where they just were not quite on their game. So anyway, the first one up, coming in at number 10, is... It's a small world after all, but it's older than you think. So, Rules of Living from this album here. This is The Curse of Blonde. This is really one of their forgettable albums, to be honest, from 2003. The album itself is not massively interesting. It is kind of a flat album. It's good. It's not a bad album, so I don't want to put people off it. But it is kind of just one of their middle ground albums where you're like, oh. But this song kind of sticks out as just a sore thumb to me. I've played this album the whole way through on my way home from work some point this week. Just gone. And I just couldn't get into it. It was just very flat, this song. It was so boring. And because I have a long drive to work, I actually got to play the album a second time, and I actually skipped over it the second time. So, yeah, The Curse of Blonde, Rules of Living.
Billions of people have heard of me, and everybody knows the sun rises in the east.
Next track is coming from their very, very cheesy looking 80s album, The Hunter. You can't see it very well because it's a picture disc and the glare's getting to it. So I'll just pull it down quickly, show you guys this album here. It looks very cheesy in 80s. Really, it's surprisingly not that bad of an album. It's quite good. The cover is quite... I'm not against 80s music, but I don't really look at Blondie as a standout in the 80s. I still look at them as more of a 70s act. So when I saw that album cover the first time, I was like, oh no. But really, the music isn't bad on it. However, there are a couple tracks on it which I'm not massively keen on, and one of them is The Beast. It just does nothing. It's very similar to Rules of Living. It does nothing for me. It's very flat, it's very dead, it's very boring. It's just kind of there, and it's... So, yeah, The Beast, my 9th least favourite Blondie song. So yeah, now we're going to start hitting songs from this album. This album here is called Ghosts of Download. And to help this album sell, you get Ghost of Download here, and then you also get Blondie's greatest hits, where they re-recorded 3 of the songs. So I think even Blondie knew it wasn't going to be great. They tried to go really modern. There's a lot of modern synthesizers in there. There's a lot of modern beats. And there's even some rap in it. And Blondie, you know, Debbie Harry does some really weird, annoying vocals on this album. This album is not very good. There's a couple good tracks on it. I don't want to put people off. Because it is still worth checking out, at least. And the greatest hits, the redo of the songs are good. They only do 3. They do One Way or Another, Call Me, and I think Heart of Glass. The redos are good. The album itself, as I say, there's about 2-3 good tracks on, and the rest are all... so anyway, I really had to pick and choose, but Mile High is going to be one of them. The song annoys me. Enough said. Okay, so the next track up is going to be Forgive and Forget. Now, Forgive and Forget is, again, it's kind of similar to The Beast and Rules of Living. It just doesn't do much for me. It's pretty flat, it's pretty boring, and it's one of those throwaway tracks. It's here and then it's gone, and it's just like, alright, whatever.
Please just tell me.
So the next track up is Gravity. That's coming in at number 6. And, yeah, I forget what album Gravity's off, to be honest. I think it's their new one, actually. I really liked Blondie's new album. It was really good. The A-side is amazing, and the B-side is really good as well. But Gravity is the one song on there which I just can't really get into. And it's really disappointing, because Blondie's new album, Pollinator, I'd highly recommend it to any Blondie fan. It's really good. It's a really good album. But yeah, there's that one song, Gravity, that just does nothing for me. It's very bland, and... really could do without it. So this is when we get to Blondie songs that I have real problems with. These 5 just annoyed me. And the first one up is Orchid Club, which is the opening track to their very cheesy looking 80s album, The Hunter. As I say, The Hunter isn't a bad album. The Beast isn't bad, really. It's just, you know, it just made my list because it's one of them fluff songs. But Orchid Club opens up the album so poorly. It's so boring and just droning, and there's no catchy chorus, which is what Blondie's all about. It goes against what Blondie has done on other albums. I don't know what they were thinking with this song. I mean, it's not awful, it's not, but it annoys me that it's the opening track and it's just so very... blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, Orchid Club. Not a fan.
I wanna drag you around.
So now we're back to this album, and I Want to Drag You Around. Just from the title, you have a feeling that this is either going to be good or bad, and it's gotten in the way of bad because it's on this album. It just doesn't do... There's nothing to it, really. It's just Blondie trying to sound modern, and it's just very, very messy. It's a big slop of horse crap. The song doesn't move, it doesn't flow, it's just... It's just what it is, and it's not good. It's not. I'm sorry if there's someone watching who likes it, but it's not good.
Getting dressed to kill, laughing down the sun like a jackal will, with his eyes blazing.
And now we get the title track from this album, No Exit. And it's a shame because No Exit is a good album. It had Maria on, which made my top 10 favourite songs of Blondie. The whole album, No Exit, is pretty good. It's just the title track sucks. It's so bad. It's trying to be heavy, then it's trying to sound modern. It doesn't know where it wants to go. And, you know, when Blondie tries to sound modern, as I say, it does work quite well. Panic of Girls, amazing. You know, or it can go bad. But hey, at least they're trying. And the same can be said here. At least they are trying to go heavy. And this is the only time I've really heard Blondie go really heavy. But Blondie just shouldn't go heavy, clearly, because it sucks. Okay, so number 2 and 1, I'll just throw 1 out the window and say that's coming from this album as well. But number 2 is also from this album. And these are the 2 songs which I can't stand. I can't honestly stand. I have to skip them. So number 2 is going to be a song called Winter. Yeah, it makes no sense in the lyrics. Lyrics don't have to make sense really for me. But these lyrics almost annoy me because it's just gobbledygook. The synthesizing on it is just, it's awful. Debbie Harry's vocals are very annoying at times, and you can hear she's really trying to strain herself to try and sound modern at times, or to have a modern approach to it, to be like, I don't know, Lady Gaga, someone like that, and it's like, it's just not working. So yeah, Winter. Finally, we've made it to my least favourite track, and I can stop being negative on Blondie, because I do love Blondie, one of my favourite bands, but my least favourite song from them is Rave. It's bad. It's just really bad. From the title, Rave, you can hear it's like, I think they expect this song to be played in clubs, people raving to it, and it shouldn't be played in clubs, because it's Blondie. Blondie are too good for clubs. Club music is just beats, noises, and crap. Blondie's not that. They're a clever band, they're a fun band, they're an amazing band, in fact, I'd go as far to say. I, honest to God, just love Blondie. And this song really annoys me, because when you go back to their first album, which is brilliant, you go to Parallel Lines, and even the album that come out before this piece of turd, Panic of Girls. It's so good. Blondie are a fantastic band, and the fact that they let this album get put out actually annoys me, because it's so unlike them. It's very uncharacteristic for the band to just... I know they're trying to sound modern on Panic of Girls and Pollinator, but to let themselves go this modern is quite embarrassing, really. And this song sums it up. It's not a good song. It's bad. So anyway, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I apologise if I couldn't get clips for all of them. As I say, I don't know till I do the editing. But if not, hey, just type the title in on YouTube, and maybe you'll be able to find a version that I couldn't. But if not, I definitely recommend picking up Blondie albums, because really, I enjoy every single Blondie album, but the obvious one. But the main one I'm going to throw out to people is this one, Panic of Girls. Just check this album out, it's incredible. If you're a Blondie fan and you want to pick up something new of theirs, of course their new album is great, it's a good, easy choice. But Panic of Girls would be my personal pick from 2011. Blondie are always going to be one of my favourite bands. Honest to God, they're just fantastic. But anyway, that is it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll tell you who's coming up next. The next artist who we're going to be doing is The Who. The Who got the 4th most votes from you guys. So that'll be fun, because The Who has some brilliant songs. And I can really dig into that Endless Wire album. It's going to be fun. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please hit the subscribe button, like the video, leave a message, and I'll see you guys next time for another video.